We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that. Absolutely fascinating. That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go, hip hip hooray, for the Western press and the Western narrative. You dare dictate the same old, every single day without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first series, the first 2 episodes, the second series. Stallone. Yeah. Want to tell him all them that P. Diddy fella. That's just nuts. But anyway, good morning. Yes, you with me? Yes, Gary Rigby's there. Yeah, hello, Gary. Hey, Gary. Okay, that's good. It's get my hair cut today, so to jump up, get a shower. Is it raining out? What are my window cleaners about? Bloody nuisances, honestly. Anyway, there's a couple of films that you must see. Really, you must see, because what it is, you've got this. Yeah, it's my window cleaner. He hasn't got a ladder, you know. And I live on the 2nd floor. He's got one of those long poles, an old big pole with a roller on. That's what he does. And he doesn't do all my windows. What was? So anyway, some of the films that I want you to watch, and series, you've got to watch the series I've told you about. Tulsa King, watch it. Sliced Alone is absolutely brilliant in it. He really is. He's brilliant. And he plays a gangster. He was in the mob. And he goes to prison for like 25 years, comes out, and he's sent to Tulsa to open up things, you know. But really, he was ostracized for some reason. He was ostracized. And he obviously cottons onto that. And then he just goes around Tulsa. And it's brilliant. You know, Tulsa, it's like, it's a hick town, put it that way, the town that he's in, it's a hick town. But things are going on, if you know what I mean. And he starts to take hold. And it's absolutely brilliant. Watch it. Just watch it. Really is, it's good. So that's one series, TV series. And if you haven't seen it, you'll be able to get it on. And you can watch it. I watched, when I first seen it, it was in like chunks, you know, one big block. and said, "Oh, I'll have a look at this." Put it on, and I watched it back to back, about 8 episodes, something like that, 7 or 8. And I watched them back to back, right through the day. It's great. And the new series now, the second series, I think it's the final series, is out now. And it looks really good. The first 2 episodes, 3 episodes was very good. Watch the fourth one, and I can see the predictability coming out of it now, which is rather sad. I don't like anything that's predictable, and a little bit of wokeness. Okay. But the good characters, there's very good characters in it. So that's Tulsa King. And I'm going to, if you haven't seen any of these films, today's films, I think, are awful. The only 2 films that I liked, and I've seen lots of them, I've seen lots of them, is 65 with Adam Driver. I think it's a fantastic film. And the other one, which, what's this? Gary say? I only ever get to watch Netflix when I'm cat sitting. I don't have TV in mine. I think you're not the only one who doesn't have a TV, to be honest, because they get fed up. I think they get fed up with all the BS that's coming out in news. I really do. But Gary, if your cat's sitting again and you've got Netflix, wherever you're sitting for, watch a film called The Silence. The Silence. Watch a film called The Silence. You'd like it. Stanley Tucci. It's a cracking film. Well, I thought it was. It's just called The Silence. That's a Netflix film, so you'll be able to get it on there, easy. As I said, it's called The Silence. Another film I'd like you to watch, not on Netflix, so I don't know whether it is, and it's called The Edge of Tomorrow. It's a very clever film, but it's a science fiction film. But Tom Cruise, actually, and Emily Blunt. I like Emily Blunt. I don't mind Cruise in the franchise of Mission Impossible. And Mission Impossible, you can all, it's all on YouTube. You'll be able to watch them on YouTube. If you haven't watched Mission Impossible, the franchise that is. So you'll be able to watch them. I think they're very good, actually. And with Tom Cruise, people say, I don't like him. He does his own stunts. That's why I like him. He actually does his own stunts. And that's what I like about Cruise. At least he has a go. But Mission Impossible, I think, is great. The action in it is fantastic. Fantastic. And I like the cast of, the Mission Impossible lads and girls. I like them. The Silence will do me, Frank. Yep. It's really good. It's really good. You see this fella behind me? De Niro. I like De Niro. I think he's a great actor. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yet De Niro's he's one of those actors that gives everything to his character. And he's very diverse as well. He's very, a diverse type of actor. He can play in any film. any film, whether it's comedy, whether it's a thriller, whether it's anything. Whether it's anything. One of the best films I've seen him in was when he was with Pacino called Heat, where he plays the baddie and Pacino plays the goodie, the cop. Very good film. Great actor. Great cast. Really good. Heat. So I haven't watched that for a while, so I might watch it. I might watch it. A film. It's called The Hunt. It's made a couple of years ago. It's called The Hunt, but there's lots of films called The Hunt. But find The Hunt with Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank. Just look for the cast. See Hilary Swank. Watch that one. It's a cracker. The Hunt. And it's about. It's a good storyline, and it's just what. How can I put this? It's what the elite think of the ordinary people. That's the basis of it. If anyone's seen it, let me know. The Hunt. And that's what it's about. What the elite think of you and I. You've got to look at the bigger picture with The Hunt. You've got to see beyond what you're watching and why it's happening. It just applies to today. What's going on? Last night I was on that pod talking about what's going on in the world today, and that's what it's all about. The elite tell you what to do, and you have to go and do it. Well, it puts everybody in jeopardy. We're on the precipice today of the end of the world. And some people just don't. They just carry on as though nothing's happening. And if you look at who runs the world, the leaders, especially in America, they're all old men. You look at their senators, they're all old men, not long to go. So why not go out with a big boom, a big bang? If I'm going, you're coming with me, if you know what I mean. That's how I view the Americans. IBR. Good morning, IBR. So what about I left, like, listening while doing the vacuum? You can't listen and vacuum. Behave yourself. Listen while vacuum. I've got my daughter coming down today. She's going to sort things out, tidy up for me. Tidy up for me. Fancy. She's bringing my granddaughter down to see me. It's your maid up. Maid up to see little Sophia. A big Sophia, climbing, they're all grody, grandkids. I've got pictures of her on like a shelf thing, And she was from when she was a baby in a pram to she's about 2 or 3, pictures. And Francine said, Dad, she's big now. You don't need them. I said, she's a baby. I said, I love these photographs. Tell you what, still got them. And Gary says, Putin and Trump terrifying. No, No, I disagree with you, Gary. Honestly, I disagree with you there. The most terrifying person on the planet today is a demented person, and he's suffering from. I don't think he knows who he is, and it's Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a warmonger. All American presidents, from the likes of Bush Senior, Bush Junior, right through Bill Clinton, Obama, Biden, are all warmongers. When Trump became president, he said, I'm going to clear the swamp." But he has advisors behind him, which he didn't know about. Like Mike Pompeo, ex-CIA chief. And I seen him in an interview a few months ago where he's sitting and he's got a massive audience, TV. And someone asked him, what was it like in the CIA? What was the function? And obviously a stupid question because we all know what the CIA are up to and what they're like. And he says, well, we lie, we steal. Just those two things, and we make up stories. Those three things says it's all about American policy. So he adds in, Trump adds in, but this time you've got, I hope he becomes president. I really do. Because he said, I'm going to stop this war in Ukraine. He just doesn't like Zelensky, who's corrupt. It's just terrible the way when you look at the leaders of America, and they've got everybody like this. You do as you're told, or we'll come and bomb you or sanction you. You can't tell China because China is a mighty nuclear power. But they want to pick fights with them. As I said last night, they provoked Putin to going into Ukraine. They provoked them. And they call it, this is America. They call, the likes of Zelensky a great man. And we, for democracy. How can there be democracy when Zelensky and his Azov cronies put all his opposition in jail, closed all the opposition media? We're bombing their own Ukrainians because they spoke a different language. They wanted to speak Russian. They banned the Russian language. That's ethnic cleansing. How can that be democracy? Please tell me. How can that be democracy? And America say, and the EU are saying, oh, we're fighting for democracy. Are you kidding me? Viktor Orban, there's a speech by Viktor Orban at the EU. Watch it. I'm saying no more. Watch Viktor Orban and his speech. He's the only leader, and that Fico. They're the only leaders looking after their countries. And they're the only leaders that want peace. And because they don't condemn Russia, they know that they were provoked. They know. Sorry to go on, but it's so annoying. It's so annoying. And, you know, with Putin and Trump. Do yourself a favour, Gary, when your cat's sitting, and if they've got YouTube or anything, stream Russia. You know, they've got cities there. Stream Moscow. Just stream it. What's going on in Moscow? Look at the city. Why are people terrified of Russia? Why? Why are they terrified of Vladimir Putin? Why? Do they think Putin wants to go on the rampage and cross all Europe and get over to America? No! No! Doesn't. But all the do you believe in propaganda? You must believe in propaganda if anyone fucking believes anything that they're saying about Putin. You heard of propaganda, by the way, everybody? Have you all heard of what propaganda portrays? It's like going out for a bevy with your mates. And one of your mates goes, let's see him over there, he's a right one. And you see it, she's a right one there. And if you get to know the person that he's horrible in, and he's a nice fella, and you get to know she's a right one there, you know, and she turns out to be one of the nicest women, you know. It's what you call propaganda. Well, lies about them two people. Just pure, unadulterated lies until you get to know them. And you go, what was that all about? And you pull the person. I don't like him. Oh, don't you? Because you don't like him. You're calling them all names and that girl all names. Because you don't like him. That's what it's like. You know, I'm a historian, don't you? And when I've given lectures about this country, shocking. You know, people think, oh, we had a great empire. Oh, wasn't that lovely? And they just think that you go into like a country and go, hello, everybody, what we're going to do, we're going to build your roads, lovely buildings. We're going to build schools. We're going to build a nice big church. We're going to educate you, and you can go to church, not realising that they have different cultures, different religions, so they're getting to cleanse the countries. And if you don't comply, this is English. This is the English history. They slaughter you. That's how we built our empire. That's what America's doing now with their world's order. They want to police the world. So if you don't comply, they just bomb you or sanction you. They sanctioned Venezuela. That's in South America. That's in South America. They've sanctioned them. And it's shocking. I forget the president's name. But he's standing steadfast against the Americans. We don't want you coming here telling us what to do. That's why I reported the other day to a White House spokesman said, what right do you have to go into countries and tell them what to do? What right do you have? And that's what they do, America. I'm sorry. I know I've lost a few people because of it, but they don't like the truth. Biden as well, I agree, Frank. FC Vlogs. Hello, Frank. How's you doing? All right. And Gary says, I definitely don't trust the media. The finest example of not trusting the media came out after the 15th of April 1989. I'll just leave it at that. That's why I don't never trust the media, what they say. Horrible. And the media is run by a certain group of people. A certain group of people, like everything else is. Like who, the World Health Organization, they're the same. They tell you what to be injected into. Try and watch a film called Toxic Skies. It's only a little TV film, and this unfortunate actress, she's in it, Anne Heche, great actress Anne Heche, and she was killed last year in a car crash. There's something phony about that. But Toxic Skies is about the killing or the genocide of elderly people that you're unaware of. And it's all to do with chemtrails. They're getting rid of people over a certain age, like 60 or something like that, getting rid of it. Toxic Skies. Cracking film. I seen it, and it's, do you know the way you can look at a film and go, wow, I can quite believe that. Well, that's what I thought when I first seen it. I went, whoa, never seen it again. Was never on. Must have been pulled. And all of a sudden, this year, mid-year, I forget when it was, a few months ago, there it was. And I got onto it, whoa, and I watched it. And it's true. It's true. A couple of good actors in it, but the rest were hammy, if you know what I mean, because it was a TV film. So I watched it, and it's true. It's true. Okay, so try and get hold of that Toxic Skies. You might enjoy it. Wait, back's killing me. Sorry about this. It's just that I've got this thing that comes out on me, and it itches me and pains me at the same time. And I have to use this cream. And when I use the cream on it, it burns and it itches. And it's horrible. And you've got to put it on, you have to have it in the fridge and then freezing putting on, then it burns you. But it's horrible. This thing I've got, it's just me head. The whole of my head from my neck to the, it's horrible. I'm glad you don't trust the media, Gary. I don't. No, today just joined in. Hello. All I watched the short vid by Galloway. Did I hear correctly? Sky News is closing down. I don't know. Well, I hope so. I don't know. I don't know because they're all phony. Sky News, they give out. It's like if you know anything about the BBC News, you know they give out propaganda every single day. It's all right talking about. Oh, they had a lovely time down in Brighton. The sun was shining and it was like 78 degrees. And I'm showing you pictures where you see people walking up and down the beach and enjoying an ice cream. But when it comes to the political side, there's your propaganda hitting you right in the face, and you're expected to believe it. You're expected to believe everything they say. Any of the media outlets. As I mentioned before, Gary, if you believe the media, I don't. It's all right, you know, like if you open a paper and it says, oh, Mr. Bloggs down the road, he's got 80 cats in the house, and the emergency services said you can't have them. That's all right. But when it comes to political stuff, you know what I mean? When it comes to political stuff, you're expected to believe it. And what I said was never trust the media because what they put on the front pages. I've never trusted the media since the 15th of April, 1989. Think about that. Get it right. I can't trust the media being from Liverpool. Hit the nail on the head. Well, I've just said, Gary, you've got to understand about politics. And what I mean about politics is that, I know I'm going on again, I wanted to do films, but anyway, what you've got to understand about the media is that they can write anything and people believe it. Look at the press we get. Why do we get such bad press? Because we fought. We've always been radical. History will tell you we've always been a radical city. Always. You can even go back to 1566. 1566. Because on December the 23rd, 1565, it's documented as the Great Storm. I'm talking about Liverpool. The Great Storm. In fact, it was a hurricane and it blew everything away. It blew everything away because they were only like catched out. Excuse me, sorry about that. It was only like, excuse me, I'm sorry. It was only, all patched roofs, patched everything, blown away. And the only things that were standing The only things that were standing in Liverpool was the castle, was the tower up in Everton, which did belong to Liverpool. The tower, Beacon, known as the Beacon. That the little town hall, which was made from stone, and the ones down on Water Street. And what's that called? The bottom of Water Street, facing the library. Tower building. They were all made from stone. So John Cross, the mayor at the time, there was debts, there was bad injuries, and to the people who were still, could walk around, he just said, gathered them all around Christmas Eve and said, stay with me. This is John Cross, the mayor. Stay with me and we'll build Liverpool together. And we'll build it from stone. Did you know that you had to get or have permission and a license to build from stone? Did you know that? He just built from stone. He said, get stone, let's build buildings that will withstand anything. We became, by 1566, the very first stone township. Everything was stone. Because he said, I'm not going through that again. I'm going to protect Liverpool. I'm going to protect the people. John Cross. And we've always been resilient since then. Well, even before. Even before. So instead of going for licenses and everything to build, he just said, let's build. F them. Through that. So we've always been radical. Even in the English Civil War. We supported the parliamentarians. We supported them against the royalists. So we were radical from then on as well. You see? And that's why we're never liked by the whole of the country. You've only got to look like with football. Liverpool. There's always something against Liverpool. The managed decline by Thatcher and Geoffrey Howe of the city. You ever known anything like that in your life? Look at the general strike we had here in Liverpool in 1911. Said enough's enough. Being ruled by all these bosses, all the privatisation. I'll just say hello to you. I'm sorry, I'm going on. I didn't want to do this. Oh, look, I've gone right down. Everyone's left me. It's supposed to be about film. Not that. We must never allow the cheerleading genocide journalists that have been utterly shameful during this genocide. Piers Morgan, Kay Bailey, the BBC, etc. We all, at every opportunity, call them out. Yeah, of course. Been calling them out for years. Everyone's left me. The North Reds again. I'm well versed in British media as an Irish Republican growing up and throughout the conflict here. I listened to the lies as I bore witness to the truth and reality. Of course you did. You want to not read, listen to me. Obviously you Google. Get onto a fellow by the name of Padraig Cronin. And Padraig, well, it was last year or whatever. Yeah, it was during the COVID. And I didn't know the lad. And he got hold of me somehow. And he said, would you do a pod? I believe that you do about the Irish. He seen something about the Irish, what I was doing. Just came into it, you know. And I said, yeah, try and get hold of it. If you go on my site, Google me, you'll come across it. You'll come across it. Padraig Cronin. Parlay with Padraig, it's called. And you see me just sitting there, you know, talking about the Irish. But I go back to 1566. Used to lecture about them. TW. Morning, Frank and chat. Morning, T. Happy retirement, Joel Mattup says, the pride of Merseyside, Callum. Has he retired? One of my favourite players started yesterday. I didn't even know. When I finished the show, the pod last night, which was hard hitting for me, you know, the show that is, about current affairs, I found out that Peter Cormack died. Such an elegant player, Peter Cormack. Saddened me that. He was great, Peter Cormack. Great player, and he's passed on. Peter. And Mattup's retired. Where did he go? I don't even know where he went, Mattup. Don't know where he went. They don't like the truth, that's why they hate us, says Gary Rigby. Yeah. Because we stand for the truth. We stand together, this city. We stand together. Gary says the class system ruined the country as well. Liverpool was considered lower class still to this day, which isn't right. As I said, watch a film called The Hunt. Now, there's a few films, as I said before, there's a few films called The Hunt, but you've got to get the right one. And this one, if you look at the cast, The Hunt, it's a cracking film with Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank's in it. And that gives you some idea. You've got to look at the bigger picture. You really have when you're looking at films. And that's giving you what a certain class in society think of another class. When you look at The Hunt, please watch it. And that's what they think of us. That's what they think of us. When you vote, when you have an election, you vote people in so that they're protecting you. Do they protect you? No. You've only got to look at the current government today. Shocking. I never voted. First time since I was 18 years of age. First time. I never voted in the last election. The recent election. Didn't vote. TW. Have you seen the film Michael Collins? Yeah, Liam Neeson. Yeah. Great Michael Collins. Great character. Irish freedom fighter. So you ask an Irishman, you ask an Indian, you ask anybody, who was in the great British Empire, do they like us? Do you know, I always remember someone saying to me, I was doing a lecture, actually, and someone said, "Isn't the German language horrible?" I said, "Why?" And they said, "It's just aggressive." I said, "Oh, you reckon?" He said, "Yeah, dead aggressive, it's frightening." Because I was giving a lecture about, funny enough, about the war and about Hitler. And I came out with a speech, "Ich bin nicht China, Ausländer, ich bin Deutsch." And, that's when they said, "Wow, that sounded very aggressive." Yeah. I said, "But we speak with what you call a low German tone. Our language sounds the same to a foreigner who doesn't understand German, who doesn't understand English. Very aggressive to them." And he went, "Oh, to know that." I said, Michael Collins, yeah. He stayed a free agent to Joe, so no one would have him. So he was well retired. But he's made enough money, hasn't he? Doesn't have to work. Doesn't have to go to Vauxhalls or Fords on a night shift 1 month and then a day shift the following month. He doesn't have to do all that. And Gary says, "Sorry, I'm going on a bit. Back to films. Thank you, Gary. Are you allowed now?" Paul Turner. Morning, Frank. Hope you're okay. Yes, Paul. Yes, I am. Thank you. And North Red. It's by pure coincidence that I came a Red back in the 70s. It wasn't about politics. It was about Kevin Keegan. But as I've matured and believe as I do, I'm honoured to be associated with Scousers. You never walk alone. It's nice. Thanks, Red. Thank you. It's a great compliment for us Scousers. I've watched a decent series called Night Sleepers, say Paul Turner. Was it you, Paul, who told me he put... no. I forget about it. Yeah, you said about Dark Skies, didn't you? The film. With Jason Connery. And I watched it, I hadn't seen it before, and you were right, it was very... Excuse me. I've just watched a decent series called Night Sleepers, says Paul. I've never heard of it. Paul, I'm being honest. Night Sleepers. But I don't watch series that go on forever. if you know what I mean. IBR says Hilary Swank was excellent in $1 Million Baby with Clint. With me mate Clint. Yeah. Clint Eastwood, millions of. She's a very good actress, but listen, please. It's The Hunt with Hilary Swank. Watch it. Has anybody watched 65 that I recommended? Paul says, yeah, Frank, that's the one with Jason Connery. Frank, says Callum, what are you dressing up for this Halloween? To be honest, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to send a picture of you, self-portrait, and I'll get it blown up and I'll wear you as a mask. How's that? My little granddaughter, Sophia, I'm buying her outfit actually, and I don't know how she's going to do this, but she's getting dressed up as Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette. Nick Fadley. Hey, hiya Nick. Hiya Nick. And Paul says, Night Sleepers just does 6 episodes, Frank. It's about a train that won't stop from Glasgow and it's controlled. I'll have a look at that. But if it's on BBC, if it's on at BBC or anything, I won't watch it. I won't watch it, Paul, honestly. I will not watch BBC. And the Pride says, yeah. That's what I'll be going dressed as you. Chris Sticks, good morning, Frank. Greetings through Red Shatter. See you next Tuesday. Rutty's show. Okay. And okay, Chris, see you next Tuesday. Yes, I think it's on the BBC, Frank. Well, that's the end of that. I will not watch BBC. I won't even watch Match of the Day. Won't even watch Match of the Day. And Paul says, it's unfortunate that, Frank, because I think most probably I would, but I will not watch the BBC. I pay a license. A license, I pay. Do you think people should pay a license for the BBC? I will take a look to see if it's available elsewhere, Frank. Thanks. You see, with the likes of what you said as well, it's run by terrorists. Are the terrorists Muslim or Russian? Think about it. I'm sorry, I'm itching all over at the moment. It's when I get excited. It's when I get excited. I'm trying to. Has anybody ever seen? Has anybody ever seen The Edge of Tomorrow? With Tom Cruise. The Edge of Tomorrow. It's a very clever film with Emily Blunt. I love Emily Blunt. I think she's great. Very good actress. But they all go and live in America, don't they? One of my favourite actresses is Naomi Watts. I think she's superb. I think she's a lovely, gentle person as well. Like in real life, she looks that type. And I didn't know she was English. But they all become Americans, don't they? Would you become American? I just want to be repatriated to Italy. There's repatriation, for Italians. He sends. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be in the queue now, waiting for the door to open to be repatriated. And I like Jean-Claude Van Damme. But there's him and that, what's his name? Steven Seagal, isn't it? We were on like the same thing. All the martial arts. I was watching something on YouTube and it had who was gay, in Hollywood, and who's gay today. Some of the names you go, whoa! We were gay. It's just bothered me, like, whether they're gay or not. But surprising. See, I'll admit you. I just keep doing it all the time. Can't help it. So, the Grey as well. I remember the first time I watched The Grey. That was a cracking film. Liam Neeson again. Liam Neeson. A very good film. The Grey. Talking about P. Diddy there. Some of the names on that list. Surprising. He was at them freak shows. And all the people saying, knew nothing about it. Oh, yeah. Well, I was there, but I went, I was there then. And I went home. When he was saying that, you have a lot. Do you want us to believe that? These are the same people that go around shooting each other. And they say, these drive-by shootings, same group, but they're well known today. And they say they expect you to believe that they say, oh no, I was there. I went to a couple. I went so. Yeah, you did. Sod off. Dark turn. I'm not surprised. Dark turn. I'm not surprised. Me. All top people are wrong-uns. Yes. Politicians are the worst. Politicians are the worst. Apocalyptic. Oh, 9 AD. I like the, post-apocalyptic. I don't mind those films, survival. I remember watching, that was when it was all right. This is when I was naive or whatever. I watched the BBC series called Survivors. Survivors. And this was done in the 70s, and I'll never forget how it started. You see a Chinese airport, could be eaten up, and he's walking through with a Bunsen, a test tube, not a Bunsen, test tube, and he's walking through the airport, and he drops it, and you see it go on the floor and breaks. And obviously it was a virus and spread around, but there were survivors from it. And it was great, the first series where they were looking for, other people, obviously, and how to get things going and whatever. Then it went daft. But that was a very good series. But what I mean is the way the politics is today and the way the West is looking at certain countries, and China was one of them. It even goes back then to the 70s, because why have a Chinese walking through the airport, a virus in a test tube? There you have it. So it's a series, as I keep saying, people, you've got to watch a series with Bryan Cranston called Your Honor. So he's a judge, Your Honor. Cracker. And I watched that back to back. Watched that. And no one seems to have watched it. It's brilliant. It's really good. And I like clever films as well. I like anything clever in a film. Remember Sixth Sense? That was a clever film. So it's things like that I like, which is clever. And I think 65 is clever as well. But I've asked you so much. But the best film I've seen this year, and I'd love you to watch it. I really would love you all to watch it. And it's called, there's two titles. I'll tell you for why there's two titles. Knox, that's spelled Knox. Knox Goes Away. And that's like the cinema thing. But you can get it on Prime. If you've got Prime, you'll be able to watch it right now. Instead of watching Frank here. Believe it or not. But on Prime, it's called A Killer's Memory. A Killer's Memory. That's on Prime. But on, you can get it streamed. The cinema title is called Knox Goes Away. It's fantastic. It's the best film. In fact, it's the best film I've seen in a couple of years. The best film I've seen in a couple of years. It's brilliant. Michael Keaton is spot on. Al Pacino's in it. A lad by the name of James Marsden's in it. He's a very good actor as well, James Marsden. Absolutely brilliant. Do you know, I know I'm digressing here, but do you know, like when you look at your subscriptions, because it just comes up my subscription, and they're coming down. Why is that? Because I know they should be up there. They're taking them off. Like, it's not like, say, Paul Turner taking it off, or IBR, or Callum. It's not like that. Someone's taking them off. And I think it's YouTube. The way it is. The way it is. So you tell me, and go, what? There's one other film as well. I'll tell you the great film. If you haven't seen it, try and catch hold of it. Try and stream it. I think it's a cracking film, and it's called Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt. Killing Them Softly, Brad Pitt. Brilliant. And James Gandolfini's in it before he died. James Gandolfini, remember? Sopranos, Tony Soprano. Frank, did you see the Northern Lights? I've seen the Northern Lights, but I've seen the Northern Lights. Do you mean like over this country? Because they're starting to come over there, aren't they? No, never watched them. No. Just shows you, doesn't it, how the world's changing. One of my favourite films is Knowing. You know, I said about clever films. It's a cracking film. And the apocalypse is on us. Knowing with Nick Cage. Has anybody seen it? Just let me know, yes or no. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch it. I don't like films that try to be too clever. Like The Arrival, for example. Arrival. I like the film, but it was too clever for me. They tried to be too clever. Where it sliced De Niro's gun is. Oh, bro. You talking to me? You talking to me? fuck with me. Mad. Yeah, what do you mean by, yeah, I asked a question, is that the Northern Lights here? In this, or yeah, you've seen Knowing, Callum? I don't know, you see. Do you know what I'm going to try and do for this show? Can't do it for any other, because there's only a little group of you. I'm going to have, I'm going to try and have a phone, you know, so if you want to ring in, that's what I'm going to do in the next few weeks. Have a phone, so you see, what you've got to be, look, how can I say this? With the Northern Lights, I think, you know, like with global warming and all this, you know, thing, and the environment and what's going on with the environment. There's lots of things going on with the environment. And there are, you know, why is the Northern Lights coming down here? Do you know, do you know, do you know when you plant a tree or a nice little, you know, hedgerow? I'll come back. Mark said, God bother my little nest of vipers. Basil false. Did you ever see with the deaf woman in it, you know? She was a great actress. She was like a character actress. She was in that Fence Street Gang as one of the teachers. Oh, a name came to me then. It's gone. Joyce someone anyway. And she was there, and he was getting on. She was getting on Basil's nerves, and she goes, to, you know, he puts her in this room, and she went, "It's a bit dingy, isn't it?" And he opened the curtains, and she said, "What kind of a view is that?" He said, "Oh, what do you want? I heard a wildebeest going past the window. I heard a wildebeest going on all about these animals and birds and oh, it's crazy, crazy stuff, crazy stuff." I forgot what I was bloody talking about then. Train of thought, gone. You never had that? Train of thought. Oh. Yeah, you see these. You see a tree grow. Like you see a tree grow, and you know, then all of a sudden, you go, wow, you know, I've got this tree that I've planted. Oh, hey, I've got this hedgerow planted. Ah, it's great now. If you go back to say the First World War and the first modern warfare, then you go back to, you know, you go forward to the Second World War and more modern weapons, more scary weapons, more terrifying weapons, as in 2 atom bombs dropped. Then you go from all the other little wars then, Korea. And what you've got is with all those little wars going on, and then you're getting all that like from the A-bomb, you had the nuclear weapons then, hydrogen bombs being tested, then the nuclears being tested on land in deserts. Then you had them being tested in the water, underwater. And you're talking the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now you have Iran. They reckon that they've just tested in the desert a big nuclear weapon. Excuse me. So you see how things grow. Seeds are sown. So all them weaponry and everything else, you've got the air, and it's like this. It's pulsating with all these things going on inside the earth, inside, deep sea. These things going on. So don't you think that it's damaging the atmosphere? They say about global warming. Yeah, global warming. But don't you think that it's damaged the ozone layer? The ozone layer is there to protect you and I. So that nothing penetrative can come through it. Especially the rays of the sun. Because some super flares from the sun can kill organisms here. Organisms, yeah, glad I said that. Oh. So you see, the earth is already damaged. The earth is already damaged greatly, and it's not going to stop. So try and watch, please, Knowing with Nick Cage. Joan Sanderson, great character actress there. Absolutely. Get in, Mark. Yeah, thank you. Apparently, HAARP, IBR, says, can cause a mirror effect of the Northern Lights, so what people are seeing is not the real deal. That's a good, yeah. See, every time I look in the mirror, you're right, you're not seeing the real thing. Because what I'm looking at is Brad Pitt. See what I mean? So it's not the real deal. I've got this instead. But you're right there, and it is the art, to be honest. But it's frightening nevertheless. Come on, has anyone seen Knowing? Everything I suggested, no one's seen it. I suggested Knox Goes Away on some pod, football pod. And this fellow was he said, and he put it on. He never put it. He put the trailer on his pod, and he went, "Whoa!" So anyway, when he was on his flight, wherever he was going, he got it. He said, "I watched that. Fantastic." Knox Goes Away, or if you're watching it on Prime, it's called A Killer's Memory. Has anyone ever watched anything? I'm not being funny, but what I've recommended. I'm very surprised. You don't say you're blind bit of notice. No, watching that. The prize, Callum says, Frank, did you see the high winds we are meant to be getting at the end of Hurricane Kirk from France? Has anybody, how can I put this? Again, why do I keep fucking saying that? I get on my own nerves. Do you know, when you look at weather, you know, the last couple of years, have you noticed we've been getting silly weather at the wrong time of the season, like high winds, for example? Whereas, you know, normally the winds in this country, come around, really should come around the likes of February, March and April, the high winds. Then it calms down, you know, come spring and summer. Does anybody remember being little kids? What kind of summers we had? They were fantastic. I always remember my back getting burnt by the sun. Don't have them summers anymore. Changing the weather pattern, of course it is. Like I mentioned before about all these things going off and wars and everything else. So you see, you've got to understand certain things about the environments and what's going on with the environments. Because I was reading something there that America has got this machine, they're working on a machine that controls the weather, trying to control the weather. And if you can control the weather, you can control the world. That's, you know, is it a conspiracy theory? I'll be doing something on conspiracy theories, by the way. I'll be doing that. The prize of France. I should have read that before, shouldn't I? Because I don't know what you're saying now. Oh, is that a life, Frank? Hope you're okay. Yeah, haven't been too good over, you know, got this bloody thing and it's really annoying. Can't do anything. I'm scratching all the time, but it's just my face. I'll be it. I hope you're all right, Tal. Really do, mate. You a little lost them. IBR. There are 100 weather manipulation patents, and many are being used to amplify the climate change agenda. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. A few years ago, we had snow in May. Yeah. I always remember my grandmother telling me that one year, my grandmother's been dead years when I was a young man, and she said, we had snow in June. She said, we had snow in June. I said, go away. She said, yeah. When she was young. But that was freak. You do get freaky weather in so many years, if you know what I mean. Long pauses, freaky weather. I remember when it was a Sunday, was it a Sunday? Saturday. It was a Saturday. And it was like in October. I was a young man. You know what I mean by a young man, 20. And it was roasting. And it was called an Indian summer. But it was really hot. You know, we've been through you know, ever since then we've been through Indian summers. But the Indian summer that we've been accustomed to when they finally come about is warm, just warm. But this one, it must have been about 1920, it was roasting. Roasting. And I mean, it must have been in the top 80s or something. But that was only lasted a couple of days, like, but it was roasting. And I remember lying on the couch with a pair of shorts on. It was that hot, and going to bed with no bed clothes on, because no duvets then, just like blankets and everything. And I stayed with my grandmother. Oh, whether there was summer, when it was roasting outside. These blankets. She used to come into me. You're okay, Francis? And they start covering, throwing things with big blankets. What's it? What can you do? Don't miss it. Just miss these people, don't you? Your grandmothers. Fantastic people. Paul says, I remember the summers of 76 and said, yes, to myself, that was mad, that. From the March, wasn't it? Right through. I got sunstroke in Abergele when I was sunstroke. I remember we had decent holidays in September back in the day. Yes, of course, Paul. I only ever suffered sunstroke once when I was away in Italy, my one. Then she said to me, it was funny. I was lying on the beach, you know, and she went, do you want some sun cream? And I went, no, I'm all right, you know. I don't like all this sun cream. She said, are you sure? I said, yeah, but I've got that type of skin that, take anything. Rhino skin, I said. That night, lying in bed, son, still couldn't move. Couldn't move. She went, how's your rhino skin? How's your rhino skin? Oh, hello. Go and get me a pizza. Honestly, that's when I suffered from sunstroke. It's terrible. Horrible. Like the bloody flu. Got to go flu jab now. So you're right there, Paul. IBR. The state started working on weather manipulation weapons in the 1950s. Yeah, he did. But as I said, if you control the weather, you control the world. And we all know how America would love to control the world, the whole of the world. They control Europe. They control us. But they can't control the East. Or South Asia. This is what it's all about, this BRICS thing. I'm okay, Frank. Thursday was closure time. Too real. Yeah, you've got to look after your boy, mate. You have to look after your boy. Show them what kind of a dad you are. It lost. See this, Anna? Fucking hell, it doesn't matter. IBR, the Orkneys were warmer than the Mediterranean 5,000 years ago. The Orkneys. 5,000 years. How do you know? How do you know? Look, how do these people know about 5,000 years ago? How do they know? How do we know about the Dark Ages? Can anyone tell me? The Dark Ages. After the fall of the Roman Empire, how do we know about the Dark Ages? Well, I'll tell you how we know. We know by the monastic chronicles, the monks, when they went into hiding because of all these, like these mad Vikings and whatever, coming over and trying to sort everybody out. That's how we know about the Dark Ages. And how do we know about the medieval period? Because it was written about. Everything is written about. How do we know about the pyramids? Because of the hieroglyphics. But I don't think any fucking body. I'm not IBR. I'm not being funny, honest to God, mate. I'm not. Please believe that. But no one's going to tell me like as you said there, I'm not saying you, but what you obviously read about is the Orkneys were Rotterdam, the Mediterranean. Who wrote that? Was it written 5,000 years ago? You see, I have to have proof of everything. It's the way I am. It's what I had to do. I had to get primary source. I had to get primary source when I studied, and I've studied for years. I went through a series of qualifications. You do one, then you do another. So it's all primary source. That's what you read. It's like reading a thing on a logbook of a ship, like the Titanic, for example. Does anyone save the logbook? So it's things like that, you know. Even coming into the question now is the demise of the dinosaurs, because no one's sitting there like that. Look at that fucking thing up there coming at us. Wow, and start writing it. No one did it. So it's all, we surmise things, scientists, and we surmise things. That's why I said watch The Hunt. Watch Knowing, 2 films. The Hunt with Hilary Swank, because it gives you some idea of what the class situation is today and what it has been in the past and what it's going to be like in the future. If there is a future, that is. Where we're going, there won't be any future. Know what I mean? So everything that's written, but then again, you've got to look at the propaganda within. I had a book on, it was brilliant. And it was written by a Swiss general about the First World War. And he gave a balanced view. Balanced. And it was brilliant. Rather than the propaganda of the sides. Do you ever remember Darwin when he came back? Not Darwin, Nunes. Darwin when he came back and he said, you know, the evolution of man. And he was called a heretic. But he had written it. So it's whether you believe it. Whether you believe that we come from monkeys. We came from the sea and now, from monkeys. But monkeys are still there going around today. Fish is still fishing. So where's the evolution there? See, it's what you observe and it's what you read. And when you read it, it's what you believe in. Really, honestly, it's what you believe in. Gary says, did you watch Threads? I watched it in the 80s, but couldn't be bothered with it now. I watched something and it was dated, and I didn't really think that. I forget what it was. I only watched it like this week sometime. So dated. What was it? I said, I'll have a look at this, and I liked it when I first seen it. Dated. Went to see Salem's Lot remake last night, Frank. A watered down attempt at recreating the '79 Toll Booper classic. Sorry, but as expected, it was poor. The quality of director or actors can't compare. Toby Hooper was great, and he only done a few films, you know. He did Poltergeist. He directed Poltergeist, one of the cracking film, the original. So, yeah, you're talking the one with David Soul and James Mason, if I'm correct. Salem's Lot. Very good. Very good. Any idea what it's loosely based on, by the way? I know. I'll tell you. I don't write to you. The Crucible. Gary says, there is more evidence for evolution than God. There is zero evidence of God, says Gary. People will argue with that. People would definitely argue with that. Look, the way I look at, I'm not saying about God or anything, but I'm talking about evolution. If we've evolved from a monkey, why is there still monkeys? Why haven't they evolved? Can you let me know about that, please? From the monkeys, we came from fish, apparently. Why is there still fish? Why haven't they evolved? It's very hard. It really is. It's very hard. It's like, say, an alcoholic, and they go to Alcoholics Anonymous, yeah, and they come out, they don't drink anymore. Yet they call themselves an alcoholic or a recovering alcoholic. They're not recovering alcoholic. They're not alcoholics anymore. They just don't drink. The teetotal. It's how you term things. It's how you term things. It's how you study things. It's like it's like poetry. It's like poetry. It's you get the horrors of war in Wales War One poetry, but you also get the patriotic stuff, which is also in Wales War One poetry. If I should, I think only make this of me, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. A foreign field, that's forever England. What's he fucking doing on a foreign field? That's forever England. See the patriotism. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this precious stone set in the silver sea, this fortress built by nature for herself against the envy of less happier lands, this blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England, this teeming room of royal kings. So you see, it's how you interpret. What passing bells for these who die as cattle. Quick, 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 boys, an ecstasy of fumbling fitted the clumsy helmets just in time, but someone was yelling and floundering like a man in fire or lime, plunging at me. Think about that. Guttering, choking, drowning. So you've got all the patriotic stuff. This teeming womb of royal kings. And yet, gas, gas, quick, boys, an ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone was yelling like a man in fire or lime, plunging at, guttering, choking, drowning. Would you rather be? Would you rather be sitting in the house? You look at William Blake. The hapless soldier sighs as blood runs down palace walls. As the hapless soldier sighs as blood runs down palace walls. William Blake. So you have all these great patriotic writers, brilliant by the way, against the harsh realities of life. And who's to blame? For passing bells for these who die as cattle. What? Passing bells for these who die as cattle. Think about that. The opening line of Anthem for Doomed Youth. Wilfred Owen. So do me a favour, watch Knowing. And The Hunt. That's all. 2 films. He's got this go. You talking to me, talking to me. That's for you, Frank. You can imagine us. Yeah, Frank, that's for you. Nick Falkley. Frank, what is the oldest film you ever watched? The oldest? Oh, God. That's a good one, actually. I'll tell you what I loved. I love old films. I love Hitchcock, old films. When he first started, like the Sabotage, or the Saboteur, the Lifeboat, fantastic. 10 Little Indians. So I think it was one of Hitchcock's oldest films I've seen. The latest one I've seen is Knox Goes Away. See, I don't like all this woke nonsense. I don't like it at all. Elizabeth, Why aren't monkeys turning into animals now? Precisely. Yeah, I know what you meant. Into humans, yeah, of course. What's the evolution of a fly? What's the evolution of a fly? What's the evolution of a chicken? What's the evolution? Look, you've got alligators and crocodiles, and they go back to whenever dinosaurs were about. They've never evolved. It's very hard. It's very hard until someone shows me something. As I am proof. See, it's like that, as I said, the crucible, because that was real. That was real. That's what happened in Salem, based on lies. Edward says, I've been listening to evolutionary psychology book. It's a mouthful. I think IBR's got off. Evolution is still a theory till today. It hasn't become evidence, fact, law. That's what I mean. If we've evolved, if we have evolved, what have we evolved from? We still evolved from an egg. Did you know that? We evolved from an egg, as you know, in the womb. And when you look at the human body, it's the greatest machine ever. Look at that. Look at that. Like when you said evolution is still a theory, right? I was made up. Did that, didn't I? So that's a good thing. That's a bad thing. But what's the most important thing about a tongue? Can anybody tell me? The most important thing about a tongue. The same as theory of relativity of time by Einstein. Still a theory till today. Never proven as law. Fact, says Nick Fadden. Yeah. True that. That's good though. No one knows really. Yeah. I lectured about the Romans, Roman Britain, Roman Empire. And when you read a lot of the likes of Tacitus was one of the greatest writers at the time. Not like he is later. Tacitus, Suetonius, Cicero, Dale, all great Roman writers at the time. then when you read and study, what you've got there is you've got to look at the exaggeration. Also, then you try to let's say Boudica, for example. Boudica. Now Boudica, she was known as the greatest whatever in this country. And she was defeated. She was defeated heavily by the Romans. Okay, so I'll just put that there. And the next, you look at Dunkirk. We were heavily defeated. And we could have been defeated a lot more. In fact, we could have been wiped out. Every one of them. Every soldier. Wiped out. So anyway, they got back. It was a humiliating defeat to the British Army by the might of the German army. Because we went, so we're going to sort all this. But do you ever remember the start of the very beginning credits of Dad's Army? Just have a look at Dad's Army, where you see it's like an arrow thing coming back from France, and back over the Channel into England suddenly, and it's got the flag put the thing like that, keep away, poking, keep away, we don't want you here, to the Germans. Says a lot, and there was controversy over that. He said, well, you're making us out to be stupid. And as the writer said, well, it's a comedy. See what I mean? It's a comedy. So you've got to extract what you're reading. But as I said, Tacitus was unbelievable. So the likes of Boudica, stories about her, are they exaggerated? The stories about, not the story, the thing about Dunkirk was made that it was a great victory for us. It was a great victory. Yet it was a humiliating defeat. How would you work that one out? Well, why it was a great victory for us was because little boats were going over and picking them up off the shoreline. But as I said, they could have easily have been wiped out. And it was Hitler who said, let them go across. And here's what he said, let them go. Just show them that we're still here. That's all. And they had a couple of planes just flying low and firing a few rounds. And like bombing, which you seen, they would throw bombs in the water to the ships, getting the big ships of it. That was the great victory of the British. But you've got a massive caveat of why it was a great victory. And it was allowed that it was a great victory, rather than being a total disaster. And this is what it's about. This is what it's about. This is the way, you watch films, and Knowing is one of those films where you go, whoa. The Hunt is a film where you see what it's like, what the classes are like, and how they view you and me. Hilary Swank, The Hunt. Okay, Hilary Swank. In fact, after my haircut, got my daughter coming down. I've got my granddaughter coming down with her little friends to keep. There's a lot going on today, besides my haircut, which I'll be getting on about. I don't know, within the next hour because my barber's coming. That's why I was like this. Microevolution, like different species of dogs, is observable, but the microevolution was put there by our betters to make us worship them, or as Orwell called them, technogob, and not a prime creator. So why I know a lad, I grew up where I grew up, good people. And anyway, that's by the way. And one family, one of them, and a lot used to go to school alone to school with them and whatever, little mad kids. And he became a priest. Dennis Parry, his name is. And he became a priest nevertheless. So the point is, why did he become a priest? Is like not a prime creator, he became a priest. So that would have been there. He would have been an agnostic or an atheist. Didn't believe in the prime creator, but the creator was real to him. But that goes back through the centuries. That goes back to the Christians who believed in this man. And if you look today, everybody, all these Christians believe in that man or that God. It's very hard, and it could do your head in trying to prove and disprove. So I try to suggest watching a film because this is what it's about. I suggest a film, and you either watch it or you don't. It's only a suggestion from me. History, the best information coming from, besides this bloody book I had rented out, never got it back, is World War One poetry and the poetry that was banned. You can read as much as patriotic stuff as you can. No problem. But when you read anti-war poetry, the horrors of war, that's where you find out the truth. What a terrible era in which idiots govern the blind. What a terrible era in which idiots govern the blind. Think about that. Think about that. Shakespeare. And when you think man, man is born free, however, he is everywhere in chains. Jean-Jacques Rousseau. However, he is everywhere in chains. You get these wonderful philosophers who's telling you, people take no notice. Do you believe in the Bible, Frank? I know you pray. Ezra says, Ezra, I pray every night. I pray every night. 2 prayers. Could it be out of habit, going back many, many years when I was a little boy? Do I believe in the Creator? Hang on a minute. My daughter's coming down. I've got to send her a list of what I need from the shops. Okay. So what do I believe in? I'll tell you what I believe in. You lot, who I talk to. You're my gods. No way. Because you can see, you can hear, you can see. Or is that too much? I was watching something a few months ago on the telly, and it showed you no people. It showed you no people. It just showed you earth. It showed you waterfalls. It showed you valleys. Showed you mountains. Showed you trees. It showed you snow. It showed you glaciers. It showed you islands. Fabulous. Different coloured seas. And I was sitting there. I was just sitting there. And I thought, we're destroying this. We are destroying this. I think it was deliberate. I just caught it. And it was just deliberate. Not to show a human being, not one. It's unbelievable. White sands, turquoise seas, palm trees, blue skies. And the valleys and the mountains. Mark Simons, Tacitus and Pliny the Elder both wrote about Jesus, where they both pagan historians, which is why we know 2,000 years later that Jesus was a real man. Yet people still deny his existence. Brilliant. Brilliant. Pontius Pilate. Real. Pontius Pilate was real. Pontius Pilate said, do you want this fella or do you want that fella? And they all went, to be crucified. It wasn't like set free, you to set free. It was to be crucified. And they had a murderer, a rapist, everything that this man was. I forget the proper name for him, Barabbas. Forget the proper name. Anyway, so it wasn't like, who shall I set free, ladies and gents? Him or him? But it was, who shall we put to the cross? In other words, who shall be killed? And they went, M, and they were the Jews. Fucking hell. See, I've got to send her the list. And she's just got back to it. When? Because it says, okay, I'll have to go. I hope I bored you, so I'm sorry. That's great, that, Mark. You're spot on. Both Tacitus and Pliny. Mark, a lot of people believe still in him today. Yep. More than don't. You wouldn't think Russia was a Christian country, would you? Russia. What was you told when you were younger? All the propaganda. Oh, it's that check, that put them down, the communist, they don't believe. Christian country. 12 minutes of focused prayer a day for 8 weeks can rely neutral pathways, neural pathways, and positive results can be seen on brain scans, whereas fear, anxiety can also be seen as plaques on the brain in the cemeteries. Well, that was a bit of an extraction there, wasn't it? Juiced. Great name, that, isn't it? Juiced. Do you know the song Limit made me think about that? You are blessed and a wise man. Do you know the song No Limit made me think about that? You are a blessed and wise man or man. Thank you, Eust. I've got to go. Oh, let me just give the list. It won't be a minute. Keisha Francine, isn't she? I went to put chickens on, and do you know what it's come out? You know this predictive text? Hi, Ken. It's got to come out, hi, Ken. Do you know where you forget a name of a certain packet? Let's see. That's it. Excuse me. Right. Here, Mac. Frank, see the Verge got sent off last night for Holland. Good news, he can come back here. The big Verge. Where am I? There it is. The big Verge is the greatest of all centre halves we've had. Verge. And you says, no worries, Frank. Take care. Good to see you. Thank you, Eust. Thank you so much. And you. And you, mate. Really. Mark, the creation is enough evidence for me of a creator, just as great architecture is the testament of a great architect. It's that simple. There you go. And I always say, though, and there's the caveat with me, who built the pyramids? Who built the pyramids? Nobody can tell me, and the carbon dated, aren't they, like 10,000 years ago? 10,000. 10,000. And no one can come in and go like that. Come on. All right, lads, this is what we're going to do. Take notes. It's a bit of parchment out and goes. I want you to build that. Okay? See you, lads. Each stone is thousands of tons. On soft sand. But you're getting the, the scientists and geologists and saying, well, it wasn't really hard to sand, some of it. Who are you trying to kid? And the pyramids have moved, and I think that one of them was 10,000 years old. Moved 10,000 years. Quarter of an inch. Quarter of an inch. What? Think. How did they get the stone? That's tons, weighing tons. Each stone someone said that they brought them on ships. Ships are made of straw. More or less like straw. To get one on, just sink the ship. How would they have got it done? Then they said rolling the stones vast distances. Sod off. Go away. I will just mention this, Frank, while you're wrapping the show up. Peter Cormack, great midfielder, very underrated. I mentioned him at the beginning. When I finished the pod last night, I put the telly on. Then all of a sudden I went, dink, Peter Cormack. One of my favourite players. Very elegant. very elegant player, smooth. Fred Astaire, he was. Fred Astaire. So thank you, everyone. Thanks. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know that we went off on everything was thrown in. We might as well call this the Saturday morning washing machine because everything goes in. Everything goes in. Oh, everything just goes in. Over your hands, we've got science, evolution, poems, Shakespeare, films, TV series. No one's seen any. Have you seen any of the films I suggested? I'd love you to see. Honestly, I'd love you to have a look at The Hunt. I'll tell you about what society is all about and the way they view us, the way they view you and I. Oh, the vlogs. Everyone give a thumbs up. Thank you, vlogs. Paul Turner. Have a good weekend, Frank. Take care. Thank you, boys. No girls on today. All the lads. All the lads. I wonder if anyone, out of chance, just come on here. We were talking about the creator. And he might have thought, religious program this. Oh no, someone else come on. We were talking about Shakespeare. Quoting Shakespeare. A poor play that struts and frets is out upon the stage and is heard no more. Wow, Shakespeare, I'm not listening to him talking about Shakespeare. What's this? What's the kind of a show's this? See what I mean? So they give us up. They don't bother. So anyway, fellas, thank you. If you're interested in the history, it'll be good on Monday. I know I keep saying that, but it's who would you like to have around the table? 6 scousers. Who would you have? And I'm not talking football. You can have as many football as you want, but it's not football. It's anybody. Male, female. All right. If you want to join me then. And we're talking about artists as well. Who you go, wow. You've seen the paintings and you go, wow, I didn't know that thing from Liverpool. Okay. See you later, boys. Thank you. Thanks for joining me.